Hey everyone, it's Kobe from Amore IT Solutions, and as you can see, I've got a lot of networking equipment in front of me here. This is for an install that we're going to be doing on December 2nd, a little over a week away. It's going to be in Muskegon, Michigan, at a residence, and we did a video kind of explaining a little bit about this, I think a couple months ago. A customer had called us and said that they had a couple of problems. They had a house basically that was ran with just wireless internet, um, primarily. They had Comcast internet. They have a router slash modem that they purchased from a retail store that wasn't giving them the full wireless coverage throughout the entire house. The other issue is that they have their whole house is actually has network cabling through it, and each room has its own network jack on the wall. So it would be like an electrical outlet in your house. Okay, those plates, but actual what's called RJ45 jacks that plug in for network connectivity. So the house has been wired completely for Cat 6 cabling, I believe. It's either Cat 6 or 5E, and but the cables run all into the utility room, and none of them are terminated, so they don't go anywhere. So those plates are not active. So what he wanted to do is he wanted to hire someone that knew what they were doing, an IT company, and he reached out to us and wants us basically to go and terminate all these cables, put in some new networking equipment, make it so that all these face plates, these data plates work, because he has grandkids and other family members in the house. He wants them to have connectivity to being able to plug certain devices in and not relying on just wireless internet throughout the house. So basically we went down there a couple months ago, walked through his house, looked at his networking equipment, and came up with a solution. We came up with a quote, and we ordered the equipment. It came in about a week ago, and I'm going to go through some of the equipment here that we're actually going to be installing. So this here is a Aries Surfboard DOCSIS 3 cable modem, which does it's gigabit. Okay, it's got a gigabit port on the back. This is not a router. This is just a cable modem. So he has a cable modem slash router, like I had previously said, that he had gotten from a retail store. We're going to replace that. We don't like the router cable modem combo units that a lot of these places like to sell customers. We like individual products that just do individual things. So this is just a cable modem. This will be installed and replacing the cable modem router that he has. The router that we have for him is a Ubiquiti's Unify USG Pro, or Unify Security Gateway Pro. Great router. We love the Unify products, all of the products. We love all the Ubiquiti products, but especially the Unify line, especially for homes and small businesses, even some medium-sized businesses. These products just work really great. And what we love about them is they have a single pane of glass. So all of the Unify equipment works together. It's on one single interface. So you don't have multiple manufacturers, like a Netgear, and you've got Linksys and D-Link, and you've got all these different manufactured products all trying to work together. This is all the same the same product from the same product line, and it, like I said, it just works really well. So this is a router. This will be going into a rack that the customer already purchased and mounted onto his wall in the utility room. He wanted to do that himself, so all of this equipment that we have here is going to go inside the rack. Most of this stuff is what's called rack mountable, so it slides right into the rack and then it screws in, so it looks very neat. The next thing that we have that I'm going to show you here is the switch that we're putting in, the 24-port switch. So this is a Unify 24-port PoE power over Ethernet 250-watt switch that we're putting in. So all of those cables that we talked about all these ports that you see here, those cables are going to get terminated, and this is what is going to do the switching that's going to spread the internet out to all of those faceplates that they have in each one of those rooms. That's what this unit's going to do. Another great thing about it is that because it's power over Ethernet, the customer did say that they wanted security cameras down the road, and this unit here will power those cameras. The great thing about power over Ethernet is you only have to use the data cable, like a Cat5e or a Cat6 or a Cat6a cable. That runs the data for the internet, or for, in this case, for the video feed for the camera, and it actually powers the camera, so you don't need an individual power cord for the camera. So that's one of the great things about a PoE switch. Next thing I'm going to show you is the Unify Cloud Key Gen 2. This basically controls all of the other Ubiquiti equipment that I've showed you so far. It uses, like I said, that single pane of glass. This is what you configure all the other parts for: the router, the switch, the access point that I'm going to show you. So it's little, very powerful unit though. You don't necessarily need this to run all of these parts. You can run a cloud-based cloud key or a cloud-based controller. That's for another video, but we use a lot of these for residential and businesses, and they work great with all the Unify equipment. Next thing I'm going to show you is the Unify APAC LR wireless access point. So these can be mounted on a wall, and this is going to give him the wireless coverage throughout his house. Worst case scenario is if it doesn't cover his house, the great thing is you could buy multiple one of these, and they connect right into that 24 port switch that I showed you, or into the switch. But much more powerful than having that wireless slash or that router slash modem. That's also a wireless router, you know, in that little box, and you've all seen them at, you know, Staples or Best Buy that you can buy them at. This is a much more powerful wireless access point. It does run on the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz band. So the next thing we're going to show is this is the Cloud Key Gen 2 rack mountable accessory. So this slides into that rack that we talked about, how all the products are going to slide into this enclosed rack. This works with the Cloud Key Gen 2 that I showed you, okay? So this Cloud Key basically connects into the back of this, and then it gives you this kind of display right here. You know, what it displays is it shows you the connectivity. It shows you how many wireless access points that you have connected. I believe it shows you how many clients you have. Yeah, really awesome rack mountable tool for the Cloud Key. The other thing that we have here is what's called a patch panel. Okay, this one here is a category Cat 6 or category 6 patch panel, and as you can see, you know, it's got 1 through 24 ports, just like that 24 port switch that we showed you a second ago. And on the back side of it, it has the punch down. This is where the cables get terminated into the back of here, okay? And they're all labeled 1 through 24 on the back of here. So what you do is you take the switch, that's in the rack, and this will also be in the rack. And what it does is each one of these ports that plugs in, you know, it plugs, and you take a small network cable and you plug it directly to here. So all of those main cables that I talked about that come into the utility room that aren't terminated, get terminated into the back of this patch panel, okay? So all the cables come into the back here, and then you take little patch cables, data cables, and you just put them each one into the actual switch, and that's how you get the connectivity. It makes for a much cleaner install using a patch panel opposed to not using one. A lot of people would take all of those cables, then they would just terminate them, and then they would put them into the switch, and you get a big kind of mess of cables. They're long cables that are stretched out, and they just don't look very well even in a rack. Patch panel, very clean. You don't see the cables, the main cables that come in through the back, because they're cabled off to the side into the rack. All you see is the little data cables that go from the patch panel right to the switch, and it's a really clean install. Looks really good. So we're excited to get started on this. Like I said, we got a little over a week away before we get going on this. I know the customer is very excited to have his house all wired up, and all of these face plates, all these data plates that he has in his house are going to be working. His grandkids, he said, are going to be happy because they're not going to have spotty wireless internet that's slow. They're going to be able to plug right into their rooms with whatever devices that they want, whether they've got computers or whatnot. And then the wireless, putting a stronger wireless access point in the house is going to cover the entire house so that they can walk around the house with, say, a smartphone or a tablet, an iPad, and have internet connectivity, wireless connectivity. They could sit down on the couch and watch TV or talk to their friends, or there's going to be places where you're not going to want to have a cable plugged into the wall. That's part of the reason why we have wireless internet. So it'll be nice to have full coverage, and I know that they'll love it. Full coverage throughout the entire house. Again, we're really excited about this install. And we're going to do a follow-up video to this. If the customer permits, we're going to take some video of before and after, show you the install, show you a little bit about the install process, take some pictures, and then we'll upload that video onto YouTube and the rest of our social media sites. So stay tuned for that. It's Saturday. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we have new content. Also, if you'd like to know more about us, we have several social media pages: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you would like to hire us for any network consulting or IT needs, please head over to amoreitsolutions.com, fill out our contact form, and let us know what we can do to help you out. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for all your support, and we hope to see you in the next video.